Reed Hastings walks into a Blockbuster in California, holding a VHS tape of Apollo 13. It's 6 weeks overdue. The teenager behind the counter doesn't even look up. $40 late fee. Reed stares at him. $40? For a movie that cost $3 to rent? The kid shrugs. Company policy. Reed's wife is furious. Not at Blockbuster, but at him. He hid the tape under the car seat for weeks because he was too embarrassed to return it. Now they're paying more than the tape is worth. But here's the thing. Reed isn't just embarrassed. He's a software engineer. He's a problem solver. And right there, standing in that Blockbuster, he has a thought that will eventually destroy the entire video rental industry. What if there were no late fees? That's it. That's the seed. Not a grand vision. Not a tech revolution. Just a guy who really hated being charged $40 for forgetting to return Apollo 13. Reed goes home and does what any rational person would do after being humiliated by a teenager at Blockbuster. He decides to start a company to put them out of business. Okay, maybe not rational, but definitely motivated. He teams up with Mark Randolph, a marketing guy, and they start brainstorming. The idea is simple. Mail-order DVDs. No stores, no late fees. You keep the movie as long as you want. There's just one problem. DVDs barely exist in 1997. VHS tapes are still king. And you can't mail those. They're too heavy, too expensive, and they break. So Reed and Mark wait. They wait for DVDs to become a thing. And in 1998, they launch Netflix. The website is clunky. The selection is small. The delivery takes days. But it works. People love it. Not because it's perfect, but because it's not Blockbuster. No late fees. No judgmental teenagers. Just movies showing up in your mailbox. Blockbuster doesn't even notice. They're too busy printing money. In 1998, they made $800 million in late fees alone. That's not revenue. That's just late fees. They're not worried about some DVD by mail startup. Big mistake. By 2000, Netflix is growing, but it's bleeding cash. The dot-com bubble is bursting. Investors are panicking. Reed needs a lifeline. So he does something crazy. He flies to Dallas to meet with John Antioco, the CEO of Blockbuster. Reed's pitch is simple. Buy us. We'll run your online division. You keep doing what you do best, stores. We'll handle the internet. The price? $50 million. Antioco listens. He's polite. He asks a few questions. And then he says no. Not just no, he laughs. He thinks Netflix is a niche business. A toy. Blockbuster has 9,000 stores worldwide. They're a household name. Why would they pay $50 million for a company that mails DVDs? Reed flies home humiliated. Again. But here's what Antioco doesn't see. Reed isn't building a DVD company. He's building a subscription company. And subscriptions change everything. In 1999, Netflix launches a subscription model. $15.95 a month. Unlimited rentals. No late fees. No due dates. Keep the movies as long as you want. Mail them back whenever. It's genius. Not because it's complicated, but because it flips the entire business model. Blockbuster makes money when you fail, when you forget to return the movie. Netflix makes money when you succeed, when you watch as much as you want. Customers love it. They sign up in droves. By 2002, Netflix has 600,000 subscribers. By 2005, it's 4.2 million. And Blockbuster? They finally notice. In 2004, they launched Blockbuster Online, a direct copy of Netflix's model. They even drop late fees in their stores, but it's too late. Blockbuster's entire infrastructure is built on stores and late fees. Dropping late fees costs them $200 million in the first quarter. Their investors freak out. The stock crashes. Netflix, meanwhile, keeps growing because they're not fighting to protect an old model. They're building a new one. Reed is sitting in a meeting, watching his team argue about DVD, logistics warehouses, shipping costs, scratch discs. And he realizes something. DVDs are going to die. Not today, not tomorrow, but soon. The internet is getting faster. Bandwidth is getting cheaper. Streaming is coming. So Reed makes a decision that terrifies his entire company. Netflix is going to become a streaming service. His team thinks he's insane. We're a DVD company. That's what people know us for. Reed doesn't care. We're not a DVD company. We're an entertainment company. And entertainment is going digital. In 2007, Netflix launches streaming. It's clunky. The selection is terrible, mostly old movies and TV shows no one wants. But it's instant. No waiting for the mail. No returning anything. Just click and watch. Blockbuster, meanwhile, is still trying to figure out how to make their online rental service profitable. They're still thinking in terms of stores and inventory. They're fighting the last war. By 2010, Blockbuster is bankrupt. They closed thousands of stores. The brand is dead. Netflix is thriving. They have 20 million subscribers. But Reed sees a new problem. Content. All the movies and shows on Netflix are licensed from studios. And those studios are starting to realize they don't need Netflix. They can just stream their own content. So Reed makes another crazy bet. Netflix will create its own content. In 2013, they release House of Cards. It costs $100 million for 2 seasons. People think Reed has lost his mind. A streaming company making TV shows? That's not how this works. But House of Cards is a hit. Then comes Orange is the New Black. Then Stranger Things. Then The Crown. Netflix isn't just a streaming service anymore. They're a studio, a network, a content empire. Today, Netflix has over 260 million subscribers worldwide. Their market value is over $150 billion. They've won Emmys, Oscars, and completely changed how we watch entertainment. And Blockbuster? There's one store left. One. In Bend, Oregon. It's a tourist attraction now. People visit it like a museum, taking selfies in front of the VHS tapes. In 2000, Blockbuster was worth $5 billion. They had every advantage: brand recognition, infrastructure, customer loyalty. They could have bought Netflix for $50 million. They said no. That no might be the most expensive decision in business history. So, what's the lesson here? Is it about revenge? About proving the doubters wrong? Maybe. Reed definitely got his revenge. That 40 late fee turned into a $150 billion company and the complete destruction of the company that charged it. But I think it's about something deeper. Seeing the future instead of protecting the past. Blockbuster had every opportunity to evolve. They could have bought Netflix. They could have embraced streaming. They could have killed late fees years earlier. But they didn't, because they were too busy protecting what they had: stores, inventory, late fee revenue. They were optimizing for yesterday's world. Reed, on the other hand, kept killing his own business. He went from DVDs to streaming, from licensing content to creating it. Every time Netflix got comfortable, he burned it down and rebuilt. That's terrifying. It's risky. But it's also the only way to survive when the world is changing. Every giant started as a seed. Netflix's seed was a $40 late fee and a guy angry enough to do something about it. But the real seed wasn't the anger. It was the willingness to see a different future. To imagine a world without video stores, without physical media, without the entire infrastructure everyone else thought was permanent. Blockbuster saw Netflix as a threat to their business. Reed saw Blockbuster as a preview of every company that refuses to change. So maybe this isn't a revenge story after all. Maybe it's a story about evolution. about the companies that adapt and the ones that go extinct. Or maybe Reed just really hated that $40 late fee.